Hey, good evening, everybody. Mark Bazinski here for Tried It For You. So, I wanted to talk about something that probably drives a lot of us today, nowadays, especially with what's been going on in the past couple of years. Well, not quite a couple of years, but I just got done reading a book from Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, and one of the things that I wanted to talk about today was some of the fears. I'll probably talk a little bit about what fears that are brought up in the book that affects everybody. It really does. It affects everybody. Every one of us have had these thoughts come into us, and being able to conquer these fears will allow us to progress forward. So the one I wanted to talk to you about today was the fear of poverty. I mean, it's what we're doing. I mean, why do we try to increase our knowledge? Why do we do whatever it takes to put food on our table? Why does it? Why do we work so hard? Not only in our businesses, but in our lives. So none of us wants to live a life of poverty. And poverty could be on multiple items. I mean, multiple things. Poverty could be living out on the street, not having a roof over your head, not having enough money to feed yourself. Hell, even worse, not having enough money to feed your family, not having enough of the basic necessities that you require to live a normal day-to-day life that many of us take for granted. I mean, many of us, we've got a house over our roof. We've always had a roof over our heads. We've always had food sitting at the table. Some of us probably have suffered gluttony so much that we've actually thrown away what could have been preserved for another day. I know some people that they never do leftovers. If they don't eat it right then and there, they throw it in the trash. Even when they make more than what they know that they can eat, they take it and throw it in the trash. Now, that's wasteful, right? But some of us has that fear of not having enough, living in poverty. We think in the U.S. we have an idea what poverty is. I've been around the world since I've started working. I've actually, before I started working, my father was in the Air Force. We lived in Germany for a time. We moved around a lot. And once I got done with high school, I joined the military, joined the Navy, and I moved around a lot, been to a lot of different countries. And I'm telling you, if you think you know what poverty is, go to some of these other countries. Go to Africa. Go to the Middle East. You will really see what poverty truly is. What we have here with what we see people living out on the streets, living from paycheck to paycheck. There are people around the world that would kill to have at the very least some of what we've got now. So the whole idea here is that when we are working our business, we need to believe that what we're doing is righteous. Well, maybe not. That's maybe not the right word, righteous. It's servitude. I mean, why did you get into business for whatever niche you're in, whatever your business is? Why did you get into that? Is it because you didn't want to be poor, or you wanted to make your life better? You wanted to help other people? Maybe it's all of the above. But at some point during the creation of your business, the chances that you are taking to build your business. Some of you, I know, you just up and quit your jobs and started focusing completely on your business. Now, maybe you've had, or you do have an exit plan. Then you're not really taking that chance, are you? But if you don't have that exit plan, you don't have that fear in you that you could end up in poverty, then you're better off, or you're in a better place than most people in this world. So if you're in this position, you're in this point, you're gonna have that fear of failure and end up going back to where you were at. Now, maybe that doesn't put you in poverty, but because many of us, we're actually what some people consider professionals. We didn't get to this point because we thought one day, you know what, I'm just going to stop working, or I'm going to start building a business. We're entrepreneurs, right? So if for whatever reason our business fails and we decide not to pick up on it and try something else, there's always something for us to fall back on, and we feel confident in our abilities to be able to pick up the pieces. Now, there are people out there, like I said, that are impoverished, that don't have that ability. There is no end game for them. It's either eat today, don't eat tomorrow. Eat tomorrow, but not the next day. So I guess I'm not really sure what the hell I'm talking about here. It's hard for somebody even like me who has seen what poverty looks like to understand it. Even when I was in the military, I never felt to the point that I did not have. When I got married, same thing. My wife and I, we lived paycheck to paycheck. When we had $20 extra at the end of the week, we felt like we were rich. We went out and got pizza and beer, and we thought we were eating like kings. And today, it's $20 is really not a whole lot of money to me. It's lunch if I choose to go out to have lunch. So there are different levels of what you can consider failure in your business, failure to the point where you could possibly get into poverty. But until you've actually lived what being in poverty is, really don't have a frame of reference. And I am not the one to really dictate to anybody what I believe poverty is. I have seen it. I have an idea what it looks like, but I have never experienced it. I've never been in a position where I've had to go hungry for any reason. I put I put myself into positions where I could go hungry, but that was something that I was trying to experience. I've done 48-hour fasts. That's not being famished. That's experimenting. Okay, so at any point I could say, you know what, I'm not doing that anymore. I can go grab me a hamburger and be done with it. There are people out there that can't do that. So, but it is something that is considered a fear. It's not something that is always at the top of most people's minds. There are a total of 6 different fears that Napoleon Hill brought up, and I don't know if anybody's read his book or listened to it. I just got done listening to it. It was written back in 1937, shortly after the end of the Great Depression, and those people there, they knew what poverty was like. They understood it. They saw it. So they felt it, they lived it. They did whatever they could do to survive, and many people didn't survive. So, but there are actually 6 different fears that he brought up. So there's the fear of criticism, and we'll talk about that at another time. The fear of ill health, the fear of death, the fear of losing a loved one, the fear of dying. All of those things are big fears for a lot of people. And if you don't conquer these fears, as described by Napoleon Hill, then you can't tap into what he calls the sixth sense of your being to help you, that will allow you to move on to the next level. I'm still trying to figure out what that really means. I've got an idea what that means, because I think when we all first started our journey with Jeff Lerner and Todd Campbell, some of you may have gone to Insight, some of you I will see at Impact, but when we started that journey, we had some of these fears. Maybe not the fear of death, because many of us aren't there, but I'm sure a lot of people think about it. There's always that fear of losing somebody. That's always there, but the fear of going broke, failing, those are big fears for all of us. So as I continue with some of these videos, I'll start talking a little bit more about the other fears, and maybe at the end of it, I'll have some insight as to how I'm going to conquer my own fears. Not really sure what my fears really are. I take that back. I can't say I've never been in a position where I thought I was going to lose everything, because I have, but I've dealt with it. So beyond that, I'm not sure what else there is, and I'm hoping that this journey that I'm taking will help me figure out what that is. That way I can figure out what is blocking me from making that leap. Anyways, I've rambled on long enough. I hope everybody else is doing well, and I will talk to you on the morrow. Have a great night.